there were family and friends who had businesses in childcare, and because I had an interest in looking after children and being rewarded from actually helping them out at schools, because I'd also done some work experience at my mum's schools. I helped out with any sort of stuff that my mum needed help with in her school, because my mum's an international school teacher. I would basically just use that holiday time or that gap year to go into her school and just help out during that time, and help out the students that needed extra support to get their tasks done, whatever that may have been. So I really was initially into childcare, and I've had a great time, learning all about that. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this video is actually talking to you guys about what got me into learning about makeup. So I didn't have anybody really who could teach me how to wear it. I'd have conversations with friends at work as well. I'm talking about like at my mum's school. She had assistants, and some of them would talk about makeup with me, but I never really wore it then. I just have conversations with people, and when I started to wear it, there was something that just changed inside of me. I was just thinking, wow, this makes a really big difference. It's a small amount, like I'd put some eyeshadow on. Generally, that's how I started, was eyeshadow or lipstick. And I, for the longest time, didn't really know much about eyebrows. I didn't know much about contouring. I would sort of leave that. And foundation, that was tricky for me at the beginning as well. I always had like lighter foundations, and I've had people say to me in the past, oh, you used to wear like white foundation, and nobody taught me. So of course I started off following what other people with lighter skin used, because I didn't really know who to follow that had my skin color. And some of the time I was thinking, well, maybe I might have to mix up different foundations to find the right one for me. So after, volunteering at schools and figuring out that I had this interest in makeup, I think maybe the time when I really pushed myself more was when I had my second boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. And I have told you a little bit about the story with him. I just felt that learning about makeup was so much fun to do that I learnt from YouTubers like Lauren Curtis, Laura Lee, Nikki Tutorials, Jacqueline Hill, Manny MUA, Patrick Starr, Jeffree Star. These were all people that I would follow to learn what makeup was, good for me. And I want to let you know that if you're a first-time beginner with makeup, you may follow people who have different skin tones to you. You may follow people who have different face shapes, and they may not have the same idea of makeup like you do. But it shouldn't be something that you do because it covers whatever's on your face, like that you're not proud of. Makeup's supposed to enhance the beauty of your face. So the parts that you're really proud of, make that show up. I've had times, another thing, it's probably a bit of an insecurity here that I'm mentioning. I've had times when I would break out so bad that I hated my face. I wasn't wearing makeup back then, but I'd have, I've been there. I've had massive acne issues, scarring, pimples, you name it. I've had it. And I'm not covering that now. In fact, my skin is the best it's ever been right now. This is the best time, and I'm 28 years old. So there were a couple of moments or experiences I had when I had, I don't know, like a scar or something noticeable, a pimple that I may have scratched. And when we were with family and friends, I was really insecure about it and I didn't know what to do. And I remember the first time, I think it was my sister, tried covering it with concealer. It wasn't the greatest idea. And do you want to know why? Because nothing else on my face had makeup. There was only like one spot, and she put concealer on it. And I honestly don't think it made much of a difference, because I knew that I had a mark in that area, and I just felt like, I don't know, it didn't actually make me feel better covering it. Even like not covering it, it didn't matter. I wasn't happy with my skin for the longest time. I was very insecure about my skin, and it's really helped finding the right skincare. So I'm very thankful I've gotten to this point in my life where I'm so happy with the skincare that I'm using. It's made a massive difference in my life. So obviously, those of you out there who are beginning with makeup for the first time, make sure that your skincare is the very first thing that you focus on. Great skincare means that your makeup will look incredible. It kind of starts from underneath and shows from the outside. And going back to that, I just, like, there was I'm gonna say, a period of time in my life when I just didn't really care about the way I looked either. You know, I had two people in my family, both my mother and my sister, who really aren't makeup lovers. Like my sister wears a little bit of it. My mum, like, hardly ever. She did for work, but her thing is eyeliner and lipstick, and I haven't seen her wear that in ages. They were both trying to give me advice to be more beautiful, and I didn't really think that was very helpful. I was a teenager at the time. I could have been like 13, and I was going through my teenage years, and we've all been through it. We all go through that time in our lives when we don't think that we're beautiful. It doesn't matter what we do, we just don't like who we are, and it's just hard. It's a hard time, and I just didn't believe it. Like, I'd always need someone to praise me because I didn't know how to praise myself. That's another thing I've learned, is to always praise myself. It doesn't matter what everybody else says, it matters what I say to myself. And they were talking to me about, oh, so why don't you like wax your eyebrows, or and I actually haven't had my eyebrows waxed in a while, or, you know, put a little bit of something here and there. I don't know. I think they were trying to help me, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I really want to emphasize that for you as well, is that it can only go so far with people giving you advice about beauty. It has to come from you. It has to be what you want. And then when I discovered that I really loved beauty, guess what? I would go out with really bold lipstick, really bold eyeshadow, because nobody taught me. No one was there to give me advice. I had to learn for myself, and that's why I've come so far. So I'm very thankful that those of you out there give me praise and encouragement about my makeup, because I have come a long way, and I started off with crazy things, but I didn't know. So when you don't know, you just gotta either learn from other people and figure out what works for you, or you give up totally and you don't wear makeup. And there are people out there who are like that, and it's up to them. I mean, it's sad if they don't want to wear makeup because they don't know how and they don't want to try. But if you are one of those people who does really want to wear it and you just don't know how, give yourself the benefit of experimenting. Let it happen and give yourself time to learn. It may not always work out straight away, but if you have this belief that it's something you want to get better at, you will take the time to get better at. There's so many people out there who say, I don't have the time, I can't do this, just running out of time to do things. And I've told you this before. I do believe time is precious, but I also believe that you have control over your time. So you can take your time to learn new things that work out for you. You make your own priorities about what's important. And if you're spending a whole day trying to figure out how to do your brows better, why not? You enjoy it, it doesn't matter if it takes so long. I used to buy many tubes of lipstick because it was actually, this was while I was at childcare. I would spend heaps of money on just lipsticks and eyeliners. I don't think I spent much on mascaras and brow stuff because I didn't really know much about it. But lips, I really wanted people to notice that I would have a really nice lip color on. And I still have so many lipsticks, obviously. I haven't been able to get through all of them, and I probably never will, and that's okay. But I'm just letting you know that when you start out, you'll learn from yourself what looks good on you. Now, I know that for some people it looks nicer to have like a bold eye look and then a nude lip. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I've got bold eyes and a nude lip. But then what's wrong with having a bold lip and bold eyes? It's whatever works for you. And sometimes I do that. It's the type of look that you're going for. And no one has the right to tell you how to look. No one has the right to tell you how to wear your makeup. You will figure out what looks good on you because you are the one going out wearing it. You know, when you hear people say, oh, I wouldn't wear that to the groceries, like to the grocery shop. I'm not going to wear a full face of makeup. Well, you know what? I do. And it's actually really good because I get a lot of compliments from what I wear. And it's helpful to hear that someone appreciates the work that I put into what I love doing. And I hope that works for you too.